We're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 9th community call, which we're hosting on the monthly basis. We usually cover all our updates with regards to our technical roadmap, also regarding significant events from the perspective of business development. And today we have pretty packed agenda as well. So as usual, let me firstly introduce myself. I'm Alex, the CEO and founder with the Equilibrium team. Today I'm joined by my colleagues. I will pass the word to them in just maybe a few words before I'm passing my word to my colleague Peter. I should admit that as we announced on the previous community call, we'll be introducing more of our team members who are actually working on our community growth with the local communities. And today we're also joined by our colleague Shirley. She is responsible for the marketing strategy and community growth in China. Without further ado, let me pass it over to Peter.
Hi guys, nice to see everyone here. I am Peter. I am the business analyst and technical team manager with the Equilibrium team. And now let me pass the word to Shirley so she can introduce herself. Yeah.
Thank you, Peter. Hey everyone, my name is Shirley and I'm the head of marketing in China, and I'm responsible for building brand awareness for Equilibrium in the Chinese market. And I'm glad to be part of the team and witness the growth and the success of the project. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks very much, guys. So let me briefly highlight some outline of our today's agenda. So first of all, we'll be giving you, as usual, our tech updates. Then we'll cover our progress on development of our DAX, what we have built so far. Also, we explain how Genshiro's standalone substrate will sustain competition in quite competitive space, how it turns out to be in the crypto market now, since a lot of protocols are going live, and a lot of projects being launched recently with quite impressive TVLs and stuff. So we'll give you a hint of on how Genshiro will actually be competing for in these circumstances. So also we will highlight validation of blocks on our networks, and specifically announce Huobi Pool joining our networks. This is really exciting news for us. Also, we will cover Genshiro Early Access Program, which we have recently launched, and that is actually an opportunity for our community to get an exclusive access to our DeFi product line, even before it actually will be launched on Kusama, before we get the parachain slot there. Also, with regards to parachain slot specifically, we'll cover bonuses and explain how our crowdloan will be working from this perspective. We'll touch on our referral program, which will hopefully incentivize our community to be more active in terms of engagement with their friends, and basically it will be expectedly one of arguments for them to join our crowdloan. So also very important topic in terms of crowdloan is the unique downside protection we have established. So we'll cover that as well. We'll talk a little bit more about our Kusama Demo Day, which is coming over on September the 2nd. And Shirley will present our strategy in China, how exactly we're going to build the community there. We're already building that, and we are quite successful on the Chinese market from this standpoint. And we cover some aspects on how we're going to do even better there. So without further ado, let me pass it over to Peter, who will be covering the tech updates.
Sure, thank you, Alex. So as usual, guys, for the past months, the dev team has been very busy, even though, it's in August, everybody's on vacation, but we didn't let anyone go, and we were busy building cool stuff. So one of the exciting things is that we've finished all of the core logic related to our decentralized exchange, and I'll be covering that in a greater detail shortly. And the only thing that's left to make sure that everything works smoothly is to actually integration test everything, and we plan to finish that sooner than later. We've also reworked our user interface, to better identify products we're giving out or releasing to our users, and basically so users can distinguish those products in our interfaces. So basically, there will be like separate flows for people who come to the platform solely for lending or for trading or for borrowing. We've also completed our automation of deployment of our bridges, and we actually deployed them both to testnet and main networks already. So the smart contracts are there, the relays are there, and the initial list of supported assets is there, and you're going to see that shortly as well. And as Alex mentioned, right now, we're also preparing to launch a standalone version of our Genshiro parachain, and we're going to be showcasing it during our demo day on the 2nd of September. So I ask you to join and to experience our platform in action there in less than a week. Alex, so could you please change the slide so I can talk a little bit more about our decentralized exchange? Yes, so everything that is related to the DEX has been prototyped and coded so far. So our assets module, it supports the instrument related parameters such as lot, price step, fees, which takers and makers pay, etc., etc. We've also reworked our margining engine, so we now margin all of the user accounts in account of their active orders. So when you place orders to the order book, your margin will actually decrease, and when you cancel those orders, the margin will increase. We have designed and implemented the order book itself, everything related to its storage on chain and its management, like placing new orders, modifying orders, or canceling orders. We have also created the matching engine and exchange of the assets on chain. So basically, as you may know, if you ever have been trading on any of the exchanges, the pretty straightforward setup is actually the double-sided order book, and those orders get matched. When they get matched, the trade happens, and all the corresponding events are being sent out. So we have that all. We have all that covered and pretty much ready. And as I already said, the only thing we have left to do is actually to test everything completely, and we're going to be writing new integration tests. Previously, we used subxt library for that, and we were testing everything by writing tests in Rust. And currently, we want to change our approach slightly. We want to test our DEX with integration tests written in JavaScript, and we'll see if that's going to be faster and easier for us than writing everything in Rust. Apart from purely technical work on our decentralized exchange, we've also prototyped and designed our new interfaces, and I already talked about that a little bit. And the most thing I'm proud of is our new DEX interface, which looks really slick. It's a simple interface which allows you, to perform some technical analysis, to observe the order book, to place orders, to cancel your orders, and to basically perform all your trading tasks as you would do on any other exchange. But it's not overcomplicated. It's really simple, not too much stuff going on in the interface. And so eventually traders are concentrated on the stuff they need the most, the price action and how to deal with that price action. So that's it on the progress for DEX. And Alex, please hop on the next slide, and I'll talk a bit about Genshiro and how it sustains competition. So basically, as you know, we're not the only DeFi project out there. And of course, we're very aware of that. And we know our strengths compared to other projects. And on this slide, basically, they're listed here. So Genshiro will be cross-chain from the start. We already support bridging of assets from two of the most prominent chains in terms of DeFi use cases. Those are Ethereum and Binance Smart Chains, and we support cross-chain transfers from those chains. And we will be supporting them from the get-go. We're also in talks with third-party bridges, and we want to bridge other assets, for example, Bitcoin and maybe Solana, etc., etc. We're in talks with people who do build bridges in Polkadot, and as soon as they launch, we will be integrating them as well. So that's the first thing that distinguishes Genshiro from its competitors. The second thing is actually the first mover advantage. We decided not to wait for the parachain slot, and we want to release our products to our users as soon as possible. That is why we're planning this demo day event, and on September 2nd, we'll be showcasing all the use cases of our platform already, in production environment, and users will get to experience our products firsthand. And that means that we won't wait for another month till this batch of auctions is ready. Plus, we can't be sure that we win the slot this time, even though we're very hoping on your support and looking forward to actually winning, but we'll be launching the standalone version. A wide range of assets, and I've been talking of that already. And as you can see, initially we'll be supporting different assets like wrapped Bitcoin, Ethereum, DAI, USDT, USDC, and Curve tokens, which will be bridgeable from Ethereum. We'll be bridging Binance Dollar and BNB token from Binance Smart Chain. And we also support our native tokens, which are Genshiro and Equilibrium Genshiro stablecoin, which will be truly cross-chain assets. Basically, we will support BEP20 assets inside the Binance Smart Chain and ERC20 assets of our tokens inside the Ethereum blockchain. And all those tokens sitting in Binance Smart Chain, Equilibrium, and Ethereum, they will be interchangeable between one another. So the true cross-chain nature comes into play in here. Another thing, our risk module and our pricing module, they're designed the way that we can basically support derivative products, for example, perpetual contracts, right from the start. We don't really need to, reinvent the wheel or code something extensively to support those products. So it's a matter of business development for us, which products we're launching and when. And we're going to be, announcing all of the new products. So stay tuned. And eventually we want to become one of the DeFi products out there which supports the broadest range of assets possible. Another thing that really stands out when we compare Genshiro to other projects is the actual hookup to the Binance Smart Chain, and which provides the possibility to onboard to that blockchain and to the DeFi ecospace for users who are interested in Binance Smart Chain. Because right now, there's no other way than to going to Binance, registering there, buying some BNB tokens there, and actually withdrawing them to the Binance Smart Chain so you can pay transaction fees there, etc., etc. With Genshiro and our bridges, you can do that directly with us. For example, you can bridge in something to Genshiro, either borrow BNB or buy it inside our blockchain and then withdraw it to Binance Smart Chain and use it there as you want. And this is only one use case. Of course, the potential amount of use cases is unlimited. You can, arbitrage rates between Ethereum and Binance Smart Chain, but just that's the scope of a whole another, presentation or story. And hopefully, we'll be sharing those use cases with our community sooner than later. And last but not least, we are already doing a lot of business development work, and we're excited to announce that we already have arrangements with liquidity providers for an amount of over $5 million. So those people will actually bring the assets we support into our substrate, into our blockchain, and those assets will be available there for insurance, for lending, for borrowing, for using as a collateral, and for pretty much utilizing use cases of Genshiro's DeFi one-stop shop. So that's it for my part, and now I'm passing the word back to Alex, and he will be talking about some other developments we have had so far. Yeah.
Thanks, Peter. Really amazing use cases of arbitraging, interest rates between Ethereum and BTC, and I'm sure there are more use cases to come. Also with regards to the launch of the standalone substrates, there are some obvious concerns can be raised, specifically how trustful will be this chain, how reliable will be validation and finalization of blocks there. And we have a certain answer to these concerns. So first of all, let me tell you that our substrates, our standalone substrates, both Equilibrium and Genshiro, and specifically Genshiro, which is going to production with its broad product line, will be actually managed according to the POA proof of authority consensus, which means that we are selecting reputable and very well-known validators and adding them manually on our chain. So the current number of validators that we have arrangements with is 5. So the target number of validators eventually will be 15. And actually, the current lineup of validators looks pretty solid. So among them, they're the most prominent validators who are already validating blocks on Polkadot and Kusama. So just let me maybe name them all. So firstly, it's obviously Rebina, very well-known validator in the community. There is also Pinknote, who joined us recently. Also very well-known validator, Staking for All, helping us to validate blocks. Also our friends from Disksoft joined us as well. And we have like another validator joined us just last week. We are super excited about that because this validator is run by one of the major exchanges, and obviously it's a very reputable, very respectable exchange. So we welcome Huobi Pool in the among our validators, and that's really super exciting to have them with us. So Huobi Pool will be running their nodes both on Ethereum, on Equilibrium and Genshiro, being validators on these networks. Also, Huobi Pool will run a bridge relay for bridges that we will be launching. Peter already mentioned them, bridge with Ethereum, bridge with Binance Smart Chain. And obviously validation operations on these bridges require a certain accurate approach from the side of reputable and known counterparties, which Huobi Pool obviously is. And also, like the third thing that Huobi Pool will be doing for us, they will be running one of the oracles in our system, facilitating price feeds for our DeFi product line, and that definitely makes our price feeds one of the most reliable in the space, because we already have 4 oracle providers, external oracle providers, respectively Chainlink, Bluezell, Band, and Kylin. And also we'll have price feeds coming from our validators, Then we'll be building median for that, and obviously the eventual numbers will be very much reliable. So also with regards to our production launch, we have really exciting update message to our community. So we have launched the early access program for Genshiro, which means that everyone from the community can apply for this kind of program to get the exclusive access to our product line. And we'll be selecting who exactly of these applicants will be actually eligible to get this access. And to do so, to apply for the program, you need to fill out an application form. I'm asking my colleagues to drop the link to this application form to our chat. They will do that right away. Thanks very much. Then at some point, it will be right before our Kusama Demo Day, all the applicants who actually will be selected for the early access program will receive the invitation link via emails they will be indicating in the form. And after that, you will just need to register your blockchain address, assign it to your accounts, and actually start experiencing Genshiro UX. So actually, we will have a special bonus for those who will breach liquidity during the Demo Day, Kusama Demo Day on September the 2nd. So everyone who will actually put over $100 into the system will receive a special bonus of $30 in Genshiro tokens. So very welcome to be active in this program. And actually the program will offer you the sort of exclusive opportunity to get access to, among the first, to our cross-chain DeFi products, which includes pool lending, liquidity farming, and some others. Will be covering that during the Demo Day on our official launch ceremony. And actually, you will be one of the first to be able to stake gens and mine liquidity, right? Participating in the liquidity farming program. Also, we have prepared a special bonus for these the participants of the early access program who actually trust us and our developments. There will be extra 5% APR on liquidity on your average deposits during first 3 months of Genshiro being live. So yeah, with regards to our participation in the Kusama parachain auctions, which are right around the corner, we have outlined certain bonus regime, and I'm here to share with you all the insights on the coming parachain auctions and bonuses and rewards that you actually can get through the participation in that. So first of all, we'll be obviously supporting participation amounted for over than 50 KSM. These guys will be eligible for a 20% bonus. So respectively, instead of standard rewards of 2,000 gens that's on each KSM that you contribute, guys who actually put over 50 KSM into the crowdloan campaign will be getting 2,400 gens as rewards per each KSM that you contribute. Secondly, we will be doubling rewards for those contributors who actually participate in the first round of auctions. We are super thankful to them for their support. And we actually, as we announced previously, we will be doubling their rewards, and the maximum reward that they can get is 4,800 gens per each KSM. On top of that, we have established an early bird bonus, which will be actually working in the first 14 days of our crowdloan campaign. So after the crowdloan campaign will kick off expectedly this week, we'll announce that additionally, you actually stake your KSM into our crowdloan campaign, you will potentially get I mean, you like if you do that, you definitely get. But if you didn't, if you still didn't do that, you potentially will get the bonus of 25% of your contribution. So eventually, you can get up to 3,000 gens on each KSM. And there is also a special bonus for contributions over 500 KSM. So for these big boys, we have prepared a special conditions, special offer. So if you feel that you are eligible for this kind of rewards, please feel free to reach out on our social media channels. We would love to touch base with you in person and discuss your further participation. Thank you very much. And also, I wanted to highlight the Genshiro referral program. We expect that this program will incentivize our community to be more active when engaging with their friends and actually convincing them to participate in specifically our crowd loan campaign. So for them, we have prepared also specific bonuses, which actually are relevant both to refers and to referrals. So if you are actually using the link that you get from your friends, you can get 3% bonus. And if you distribute links across your community, among your friends, whatever, you are also eligible to get 3% bonus. So we actually are currently collecting applications for referral program. And my colleagues will drop the link to our application for this referral program into the chat here in Crowdcast. Please, guys, do that. Thanks very much. So we're actually applying certain requirements on the participants in the program. So we're expecting you to have some, pro accounts on Twitter, Bitcoin Talk, Discord, and other social media networks. We expect you to be the active member in Telegram communities, obviously crypto related, and you need to speak English fluently. So that's pretty much it. Feel free to apply for our referral program. And also, let me mention a special bonus for referrers who actually bring in friends who contribute over 500 KSM. Again, if you feel that you are eligible for this kind of bonus, please reach out to us on our social media networks. Thank you very much. Yes, and another exciting thing that I wanted to cover, maybe it's one of the most important things that we have in the current crowd loan campaign. So we have established, I think we're the first actually project on Kusama, which has established its own downside protection policy. So first of all, we have allocated 10% of Gen's supply from our treasury to secure KSM downside, which means that we'll be fixing the price of KSM at the beginning of our crowd loan campaign. And then if it turns out that at the end of our parachain list period, in 48 weeks after we win the slot, the KSM price declines below the level that we have fixed during the crowd loan campaign, we will actually compensate the price drop up to 50% on each KSM that you contributed. So token distribution out of this honeypot of gens will be distributed proportionally to the actual KSM price drop. So again, feel free to contribute to our crowd loan campaign and feel protected because we are providing you this kind of downside protection. So you will get the compensation in gens, and given that gens will have sort of potential for the upside, you should be fine. But obviously, we are not giving any kind of investment advices here. So definitely, all the decisions that you make, you're making on your risk based on your own research. We're just giving you some hints on our plans. And also, I wanted to mention that if it happens that Genshiro doesn't secure the slot, well, you never know. So basically, everyone will be eligible for guaranteed rewards. So they will get 100 gens per each KSM they contribute into this round. So hopefully this will help you to make like the right decision. Yeah, welcome to ask questions in our Telegram community and on other social media channels that we have. Yes, and maybe the last thing that I want to cover personally during this presentation is our exciting Kusama Demo Day that we are hosting on September the 2nd. It will be the online event here on Crowdcasts. Please feel free to register right away, save your spot. So the idea behind the event is to give an opportunity to all the projects that already made it into production on Kusama as parachains and also as standalone substrates as well. And these actually standalone substrates are supposed to become parachains on Kusama at some point to present their developments. So they will showcase everything that they have rolled out, give some insights, give some presentation of their functionality. So among these teams that will be presenting, we have with us obviously the contenders in the previous rounds of parachain auctions on Kusama, including Bifrost, Shiden, and Kala. And obviously those contenders who are actually joining the current race in terms of parachain auctions of Kusama, including ourselves, Altair, and Robonomics. And just a reminder to you guys that we will be celebrating our launch during this event. So there will be a very special presentation. We'll be showing our developments in the production, maybe some use cases, and welcome to tune in. Super excited. We'll be super excited to have you with us. So go to the website of the event, kusamademoday.com, and save your spot right away. So without further ado, let me pass it over to my colleague Shirley. She will be covering some aspects of our strategy for community growth in China.
Thank you, Alex. Now I'm gonna introduce Equilibrium's marketing strategy in China, and we tend to achieve two objectives in the Chinese market right now. First of all, we tend to build and increase brand awareness in China, and the second, we tend to drive community growth, including developers and users and our network growth. And to realize the first objective, we are trying to establishing and increase the brand awareness in China. We are distributing Equilibrium's latest updates and the announcements on Chinese top blockchain medium to build our PR and social media presence to support overall growth and listings. And we also organize online activities and AMA to increase our brand exposure and our user base in these markets. Besides, we sponsor and give speeches on online key industry events to get exposure in the industry. And last but not least, we are maintaining good relationships with Chinese media, KOLs, and exchanges, so we can co-organize events and launch joint promotions. To achieve the second goal, building an active Chinese community, we have recruited the Chinese ambassadors to keep and maintain our WeChat groups active. And they are real supporters of the project. They help us get the Equilibrium message out. In addition, we also launch activities like our jobs regularly, like we tend to attract more external users and activate the existing users at the same time. Um, our our goal in China is to get the Equilibrium message out and allow more users to get access to cross-chain liquidity. Like in the next stages, we will keep focusing on brand building and user growth. Thank you, Alex.
Awesome, Shirley. Thanks very much for the presentation. That was really helpful, I believe, for our community to grasp the idea of what exactly is going on in China for Equilibrium. Just from my side, I would also add to hear that Chinese market is top priority for us. And obviously, we're putting a lot of efforts into spreading the word there, doing all the activities that Shirley mentioned during her presentation. For now, like we obviously not doing that just for the first time. We've been doing that for a long period of time till now, and we have actually got certain success with our activities to the date. So we have quite active Chinese community, which counts, I believe, Shirley, correct me if I'm wrong, like 4 WeChat groups or maybe even more for now, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, because you obviously guys know that we cannot basically run the WeChat group with more than 500 members, so we need to split the activity among different groups. And yeah, so as Shirley mentions, we have very good relations with key Chinese media, including obviously Chain News or Daily, 8BTC, and others. So yeah, with this regards, we definitely want to do even more, specifically with respect to our production launch. We'll be educating our community on how exactly they can use this amazing tool set that we'll be delivering, because I think that we are building one of the most comprehensive DeFi platforms in the space, which will include the whole range of functionality that you can even imagine in DeFi, including the lending instruments, trading functionality. There are some obvious innovations that we're bringing in, actually inheriting from the world of traditional finance. I'm sure that we will at some point maybe actually conduct certain separate presentation when we will be covering all the advantages of the platform. And yeah, stay tuned to our updates, and definitely, I'm saying that again, tune in for our Kusama Demo Day events next week on September the 2nd. So here are our contacts. Feel free to reach out to us, and we definitely would love to have your feedback, whatever suggestions, and so on and so forth. And now I'm opening the floor for our Q&A sessions. Let's check what we have here. Okay. So we have quite a lot of questions. So let's start from the very beginning. So please tell us when DeFi instruments will be available to us when you launch Genshiro. So yeah, this is a very good question. So first of all, among these DeFi instruments, there will be obviously the lending platform launched first of all. So on this lending platform, you can borrow and actually provide liquidity in the cross-chain manner. So Peter already covered some capabilities of the platform, mentioning that it will be initially bridged with Ethereum and the Binance Smart Chain, which is really amazing because we'll be connected with the biggest DeFi ecosystems in the space, which definitely will facilitate obviously liquidity inflows and help us to acquire more user base and being interesting to our community as a DeFi product line. So in terms of this functionality, you will be able to also to provide liquidity to the bailout pools. So bailout pools presumes that you are not just providing liquidity and lending it out, but also you will be participating in actually securing loans in the system, which means that you can earn quite substantial interest on your funds that you will deposit into these pools. The one maybe sort of limitation that will apply for participation in the bailout pool will be the minimum deposit, which will be $1,000 worth cryptocurrencies that you will be depositing. And so just a heads up in terms of assets which will be available on the platform from the day one, there will be all major stablecoins, including USDT, USDC, and DAI. Also Ethereum itself, CRV tokens. On the BSC side, we will have BNB and BUSD. And also we'll be supporting, obviously, our native tokens, including EQ and Genshiro. EQ once it obviously will be transferable. So also worth mentioning that this kind of use cases, for example, if you need BUSD on the Binance Smart Chain for some certain operations and you per se have some assets on Ethereum, you always can pledge it into the platform as collateral and borrow BUSD, do your operations, then pay back the loan, and actually get your assets back. Given that the system will be pricing these loans on the risk-based approach, if you provide more collateral, and specifically if this collateral will be in stable coins, you will be paying very tiny interest on your loan. Yeah, so this kind of one part of my answer to this question. So also there will be liquidity farming program launched from the day one. So everyone who will be providing assets, providing liquidity into the bailout pool, they will be able to earn some substantial interest in our liquidity farming program. So the interest will be paid in our Genshiro tokens, and we're estimating that interest in the range of between 25 and 40% APR. So then we have certain roadmap. It's actually internal for our team. We are still considering certain aspects of this roadmap. We'll be announcing further launch of our other products into production soon after we launch the first batch of our developments. Thanks for the question, by the way. So the next question: when are you going to launch a closed beta? Is there any requirements for joining it? Yeah. So as I said, we'll be launching the closed beta on September the 2nd during our Kusama Demo day. So it will be a sort of launch party for us. We'll be joined maybe by some of our colleagues who might be keen on giving some comments on this launch. We'll see. We're keeping this in secret. We'll announce accordingly. And yeah, so please join our Kusama Demo Day events on September the 2nd to look at the project. And with regards to requirements for joining closed beta, please fill out the questionnaire that you will find in the chat. I believe my colleague Emily already dropped links into the chats. Look at these links, go and fill out the application form. And yeah, we will just apply some our subjective views on the application that we get through this application form. Yeah, so what will happen to your standalone substrate when you win a parachain slot on Kusama? So this is a very good question. It actually contains both kind of very, I believe, business sides and the coin side of the technical development. So maybe I will ask Peter to cover the technical aspects of that first.
Yes, basically, it's a matter of an upgrade And we will need some extensive support from Parity to be able to upgrade our parachain, so all the functionality eventually ends up where it needs to be, and should be okay. So no problems as to the update. And currently Parity themselves, they told us there might be some issues with that, but they're still themselves unaware of that. So once the time comes, we will be dealing with this task for firsthand, and we shall see. And for the business part, I'm passing it back to Alex. Yeah.
Yeah. So on the business side, it's also pretty straightforward. So we will expect the smooth and seamless operations on our Kusama. Firstly, our standalone substrate, then do the seamless transition to the parachain. Maybe there will be a certain downtime. It actually depends on the technical team, but we are sure that it will not be something that crucial for normal operations. So we definitely migrate all the data that we will collect it to that point when we will need to make this transition. And yeah, I mean, our primary goal is to provide our users with seamless, smooth, sleek user experience. And that's actually the first priority for us. Despite whether we are standalone substrates or parachain. So again, as a standalone substrate, we will have the full range of functionality up and running, including our bridges to Ethereum, to Binance Smart Chain, and the substantial amounts of business logics that we have implemented so far.
Okay, Alex, can I add a little bit more to this?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
So basically, another aspect of this is that we're really interested in actually, trying our system both as a standalone substrate and then as a part of the entire ecosystem, because we want to test how it will run. Will the speed be faster when we're standalone, or will it be slower when we're a parachain, or maybe not? Maybe we need to perform some optimization related to our DEX and the way we store and structure it on chain once we repair a chain. So there are lots of business intelligence questions we are ready to answer. That's one of the reasons why we decided to go both with standalone version and later on the parachain version as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So we want to test everything through to make sure that we made everything right. So obviously, on the security side, all the code that we will be deploying into production will be reviewed, so that we will make sure that there are no security breaches there. As you guys know, that we have the initial security audit report from QuantStamp, which is covering the core logics on our substrate. We're also undergoing the process of review that we will be announcing once it will be done. And yeah, this is very exciting times, guys. We've been developing for quite a long time. We actually, as you know, we've been running our test nets with quite substantial amount of functionality for a long time as well. And we are really appreciate your support and looking forward to launching everything into production right away. Okay, so when DEX launch, this year or next? Yeah, I think Peter actually covered that in some portion. So firstly, we are quite far with the DEX developments. The core business logics already developed, and we're just doing some extensive testing of that. And our expectations to launch DEX, at least it's in its alpha version relatively soon. We will keep you guys posted. Keep an eye on our announcements. That's by far. So what about Equilibrium? When are you planning to launch it in the production? Very, very good question. So we actually think, again, so first of all, why Genshiro actually appeared on the market? So we decided to have the Canary network And actually, it's in some way replicates the logic behind Polkadot having Kusama as a canary network, right? So it's actually the very very best way to test things through, right? So have the test networks where you can deploy your developments first before it goes live on your main network. So that's why we decided to go to move forward with Genshiro, and actually it's a very good opportunity for us to launch everything as a canary network, which is actually announced in advance, right? So we're telling everyone that it's a canary network as a testing site for our developments, and then once parachains will be launched on Polkadot, we are expecting to approach the production launch of Equilibrium. So that's the logic behind that. Answering the question when, it's actually closer to the parachain launch on Polkadot. We are expecting this to happen at some point this year, something in between October and December. So that's kind of time frame that we're expecting. But again, you never know. So maybe it's better to ask Parity or Web3 Foundation regarding that. And yeah, so simultaneously we'll be launching Equilibrium into production. And now, again, we have launched the closed beta program. Please join that program and participate in our launch, which will happen soon. Okay, so the Polka Believer is asking, will you support more wallets? Yeah, so this is a very good question. So currently we are supporting obviously Polka.js wallet, which allows our users to use the functionality of substrate, and also it's basically supported by both networks of Kusama and Polkadot. So on top of that, we are supporting our applications supporting MetaMask, which means that all Ethereum native users will be able to port assets from MetaMask to our system. And by the way, using both networks, Ethereum and BEC, because obviously BEC is an EVM compatible network. So we'll be able to use like both networks. And at some points, like answering your question, we definitely looking forward to supporting more wallets. Yeah, this is definitely something on our radar, and we're considering. So by the way, if you have any kind of wallets in mind that you think we need to support, please drop us a message, whether here on the chat or maybe some personal message through our social media networks, whether Telegram or Twitter. Okay, I would like to understand that an analog of your projects is PancakeSwap, Uniswap. I know there are different swap exchanges in other networks. I want to understand you want to become a flagship project in Kusama, like PancakeSwap, Uniswap. As I know, the Bifrost project will also be a swap exchange. Good question. So look, first of all, Equilibrium is something bigger than just niche products. So it's not just some swap exchange or lending application. So the idea behind Equilibrium and Genshiro, respectively, is to become is sort of the conglomerates of DeFi products. So it's kind of the most comprehensive DeFi platform you can even imagine, which includes the functionality of all DeFi products in one place, right? Through that, we're aiming to simplify user experience and actually make it more convenient, because you will not be forced to be switching among various, websites, interfaces, and so on and so forth. Secondly, we are applying certain best practices of real-world finance to building the architecture behind our technology. And actually, these best practices help us to solve other hurdles for which are very much relevant to DeFi. So first of all, is the problem of inefficient debt liquidation. We're addressing that by introducing bailouts. Basically, it's the liquidity which is secured in advance to secure kind of defaults in the system, and this makes the system, our system, more sustainable. Secondly, we are opposed to the utilization approach. We are taking the path of risk-based approach in terms of pricing, which makes interest rates in our system more fair. Another thing that we're introducing, another innovation, is actually kind of like cross-chain interoperability, right, which is inherited from the underlying platform. And actually, cross-chain interoperability allows us to end the fragmentation of liquidity, right? You will be able to use multiple assets from various blockchain networks in one place in decentralized manner. And also, maybe one of the most exciting developments, which are almost impossible to implement on other blockchains because of complicated mathematics, like math on the background, a lot of computations. It's the portfolio margining functionality. So it's actually opposed to the functionality of collateral vaults, which is a very common practice for the overall DeFi applications, specifically on Ethereum, right? When you're working with just a specific asset as collateral. We are introducing the portfolio margining that, and actually we're working with your portfolio as with a basket of collateral. So basically, it's very helpful to experience less risk in your operations with our platform, and basically hedge the volatility risks. And it actually relevant both to the lending platform, to our decentralized exchange, where you can like on the former platform, you can use like basket of collateral to collateralize your loans, and you can use the basket of collateral or portfolio to trade on margin, which is really exciting. And actually, just a few exchanges in the space, even centralized ones, have this functionality. One of them is FTX. One of the most advanced exchanges on the market right now. So definitely no DEXs has the same functionality right now, and we will be the first to introduce that to our community. So again, answering your question, so we are more than swap exchange. The exchange that we are launching is actually more sort of professional one with the based on the order book. And besides that, you know that we are working on the curve implementation, and when we launch this curve implementation, we will have the stable swap functionality within our system. So the last question, can I become a validator? Peter, can you take this question, please? Sorry, you are muted.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Definitely just drop us a line and we will consider, but the main issue here is that we don't need that many of those. We already have like a list of the people who we want to onboard, and those are all well-known names who will help our networks, both Genshiro and Equilibrium, to be run in a decentralized fashion. And when we get the parachains, there's no need to actually have a lot of validators, and the parity itself told us the reasonable amount is 10 to 20 for the collators of your parachains or parathreads, and we are pretty much booked there already.
Wow, cool. Cool. Thanks, Peter. Thanks very much. Yeah. So just to add to that, again, we're standing for more security of the network, and since we're running the network with the POA consensus, we are actually very much selective in terms of validators whom we're adding on the network, and selecting among those who are already have experience in validating either Polkadot or Kusama. But by the way, I just noticed that here is new functionality on Crowdcast. We can invite users on the screen. So yeah, next time we will try this out, by the way. If somebody wants to say something, just raise the hand. Okay. Yeah, so we'll experiment next time. Thanks very much, guys, for having us here. Oh, seems like Shirley dropped off. But anyways, to wrap up, firstly, keep an eye on our crowd loan campaign on Kusama. We have quite substantial lineup of features of this campaign. Firstly, it's obviously the downside protection makes very much sense. Secondly, we have the early participation bonus. It will be 25% on top of what you contribute in the first 14 days of our crowdloan campaign. The third thing that actually I wanted to mention here with this relation is bonuses, special bonus for contributions over 500 KSMs. If you have friends who consider our crowdloan campaign and want to contribute to that over 500 KSMs, please feel free to reach out to us. We will touch base and see how we can fulfill their demands. Yeah, so please get prepared for our closed beta. Fill out the application. We'll consider your application, and if you will be eligible to join that, we will receive an email from us. Thank you very much. Peter, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Have a nice day. I'm looking forward to meeting you in a month. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks very much. The very exciting month is coming. Thanks very much. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Till soon.